Hello, welcome to my channel, you beautiful people. My name is Tori Lynn. Fall is my favorite time of year, and there's so many different colors, from the oranges and the yellows to the reds and the plums and the purples. So I decided to do another fall inspired look. This one is really very fun and exciting. I haven't done anything like this in a long time. I don't typically wear bright, vibrant colors like this, but I thought it was time to do something new. So please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into it. I already went ahead and prepped my skin, moisturized, primed, all the good stuff. So today I'm going to be starting with the eyes because this is kind of a darker, smoky look. I'm going to be worried about fallout. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I use the shade Porcelain Beige. And I'm just going to put a little bit on each lid. This is going to be kind of my base or my lid primer. And I'm just going to use my finger to work it out. So since we primed the lids, we haven't done our face, I'm still going to go ahead and set that primer or concealer, and I'm just gonna use this white peach shade from the Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced, just this creamy shade down here. And I'm just gonna take a regular standard packing brush and just pack that all over the lid, from the lash line all the way up to the brow. So we're going to be using a few different palettes today. The one I'm going to be starting with is the Party Animal from Laura Lee Los Angeles, and I'm going to be using the purple shade in that palette called Hangover. And I'm just going to take a standard crease brush, one pretty, just nice and fluffy, and I'm going to dip into that shade pretty heavy. And I'm going to start by working it in the crease. I'm being very careful to make sure I bring it all the way down into that inner corner. Trust me, this look is gonna get messy before it's gonna get better. I'm just gonna keep building into that. Keep building up that product, making it nice and dark. And I'm not going to be afraid of it getting down on the lower lid, on the actual lid either. I'm just going to continue to build that shadow up until I'm happy with it. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I want to add a little bit of depth into that, so I'm going to grab the Too Faced Peach palette again, and I'm going to be using the shade called Delectable. It's a real dark plum shade, and I'm going to build that depth up with a little more of a precise brush. So I'm going to work that majority in the outer edge of the crease, but I will bring it in a little bit. Work it down towards the lash line a tad. Once you have the depth built up to where you want it, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the other side. See all this right here? This is exactly why I wanted to do the eyes first. Just had a feeling with these shades, some going so dark and so heavy, that we're probably going to have some fallout. I want to stop there and give everything just a nice good blend, so I'm just going to take my favorite blending brush here and just give it a good blend. Make sure those edges look real smooth, nothing too chunky or chalky. one more palette to finish off the eye look. Well, to not finish off the eye look, but one more palette to add to this eye look. This is the ColourPop My Little Pony Shadow Palette, and we are going to be using the shade right here. It's a real pretty metallic-y purple shade called Minty, and I am just going to take a nice thick packing brush and just really pack that shade onto the lid. And I will probably do a few layers of this just to get a real nice coating of it. Now I want to kind of deepen or brighten that inner part. I want that shimmery purple to really pop. So I'm going to be using the Cover FX Shimmer Veil in the shade Amethyst. It's a really pretty holographic liquid eyeshadow, I guess. It's really pretty. It's got a nice pretty purple sheen to it. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna lay that over top of that shadow we just laid down, that bright shimmery purple. I'm gonna lay that right over top. So it's just gonna help make everything really pop, give it a real bright appearance. I mean, look at the difference with that versus that. I mean, this is pretty, but this is like bam. So I'm gonna do the other side real quick. Once it's layered and you're happy with it, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the face now. We'll come back to the eyes later to do liner, mascara, all the good stuff, but for now we're going to move into the face. So I'm just gonna take one of my handy dandy face wipes here, and I'm just gonna wipe off all the excess, which yes, probably does remove some of my primer and whatever else. I'm not gonna get too technical with it under the eye. We're gonna do that with the concealer. I just want to get rid of all that real heavy fallout. For foundation today, I'm gonna be using one that I have never used before. I actually just purchased this a few days ago. This is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. And I picked up the shade Light Ivory. But I'm just gonna take my beauty sponge, put my hair on it because I dropped her. And I'm just gonna take a few pumps. Like I said, I haven't used this, so I don't know if a little goes a long way or if you need a ton. I don't know how this foundation works yet, but I'm just gonna use it like I would with every other foundation. So far, it seems like it's got pretty good coverage. It looks a little more yellow toned in the viewfinder than it does in person, but I think I picked like the third to the lightest shade or second to the lightest shade, so I picked a pretty light shade, but it does feel like it's got quite a bit of coverage to it. I don't think what I picked was, took out. I did about 2 pumps, I think. I don't know that that is going to be enough to cover my face, so I'm just going to do what I've got and on there already, and then I'll probably go back and build up the foundation or see if it's buildable, I guess. It definitely needs some more to build up with, so let's go ahead and take another pump on there and try it again. The foundation does not feel real wet or sticky or heavy on my skin, which is nice. taking a nice close-up look at the foundation. So it looks chalky. I don't know, like it looks like really patchy, especially on my forehead. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like this patch in the center, and then it's like caked already. It's caking around my mouth and stuff, which I do not like that. The color looks really great, and it's got a really nice matte finish, but the rest of it, I don't know, maybe it would apply better with a brush. If you guys have tried this foundation and you've got different results, let me know. Tell me how you use it and what works best for you, because I don't know if this is how this foundation is going to wear or look. Just applying it, I don't know that it's something I'm gonna like. But moving on, because it's on her face now, I'm gonna conceal using, of course, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is, again, in the shade Porcelain Beige. I'm just gonna go up under the eye and apply my concealer. Now, while I'm applying my concealer, I'm gonna get real precise out here at the edge of the shadow. And I'm just gonna drag that line up towards the brow. You're gonna wanna keep a really steady hand while doing that. The rest of it doesn't matter, you can just apply it like regular, but I wanna make sure I've got these nice, clean, crisp edges out on the edges of the shadow there. I'm gonna take my same beauty sponge and I'm just gonna buff that out. For baking today, I also have a new product that I'm going to be trying out. This is the Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder. I got this in the shade Translucent. I'm gonna go ahead and open her up here. I was debating between this one and the new Kylie Translucent Setting Powder. But this one was only like not even $10 more for almost 3 times the amount of product. So I went with this one. Again, this is in the Translucent shade. And I'm just going to open her up because I have not used her yet. She's still got that little plastic sticky over the holes. I'm just gonna go ahead and take her off there. And then I'm gonna tap some into the lid of the container here. Wow, okay, a lot comes out. That was not that many puffs or shakes or whatever. And a lot came out. So I'm gonna grab my Tarte beauty sponge that I use to set, and actually I'm gonna go back under my eyes and make sure the product hasn't creased up too bad or anything. And then I'm gonna grab that setting powder on my sponge and just go ahead and set that under eye. I'm just gonna take it right up under that shadow as well, where we already made that nice crease or nice line, and I'm just gonna take it up under that. This will help keep that line nice and stark later on. This powder is extremely white. I got a big old chunk right on my lip. So I'm hoping that it all blends out nicely when I try to set the rest of my face. Now we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna do the brows, because this is typically the point in my makeup for every look I do where I do my brows after I bake. Gives my baking time to get set and just really sink in and set that powder and product down. So let me go ahead and do that and I will be back. Brows are on. So let's go ahead and set the rest of the face. I typically set my face with my setting powder, translucent setting powder, whatever I used to bake with. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna take that, again, Anastasia Beverly Hills loose setting powder, and I'm gonna set my whole face. Hopefully this doesn't make me look ghostly white. I don't know, we'll find out. They did have a couple like vanilla-y shades and some darker, but they were out when I went to buy them. So I'm just gonna go ahead, take the brush I'm going to use to set my face with and try to buff that baking away. So definitely is brightening. And my under eyes don't appear chalky or real creasy any more than they already do, because it doesn't matter how much I set them, my eyes still tend to get a nice crease in them. I'm just gonna set the rest of the face. Okay, so it definitely leaves the areas that you set really bright, but I don't really feel like it made me look too pasty. In person it looks really good, I feel like. In camera, actually I do like in camera too, it just definitely brightens those areas that I baked. So be aware of that if you're going to use this product. Let's go ahead and bronze up. I'm going to be using, of course, my Hoola bronzer from Benefit, because she is one of my faves, and I actually just ordered a new one from Ulta a few days ago that should be here. So you see how much pan she is hitting. We need a new one. So I'm going to use my favorite P12 brush from Aesthetica and just go in and really bronze her up. I don't know why, and I don't know if it's this foundation or what's going on, the setting powder, but I feel like this side blended out normal, really nice. But this side, I feel like it's not blending out very well. Like, I feel like it's looking muddy and really chalky and heavy, and I don't know what's going on. I feel like it has to do with this foundation, not the setting powder. But I don't like it. I mean, look how heavy this is right here. Like, let me grab it. I'm gonna go back over with that brush that I set the powder with, or set my face with, and just try to blend some of that out. I don't love that. Hopefully it's not the setting powder, because the foundation, not that big of a deal. Don't have to use setting powder. I really like the way it baked and stuff, so hopefully it wasn't that. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and move on. I'm gonna go ahead and contour my nose real quick. I'm just gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush with the same bronzer. For blush today, I'm going to be jumping into the Real Her Fearless Be Limitless palette, which that's really shimmery, and gonna be using the shade Unstoppable. It's the more purpley shade in that little palette there. Let me grab my cheek brush here, just an angled cheek brush. I'm hoping that the blush can kind of salvage this side with the bronzer. Helped a little bit. It just doesn't have that nice blend that this side has. This side's got this beautiful blend, like it always does, like it should, and this side's just got this weird blocky look to it that I do not like. I'm gonna use my all-time fave Mary Luminizer from The Balm. She's just gonna come in clutch today and save the world. I'm just gonna highlight. Okay. Now that we're we're moving on past all that fiasco. The face is mostly set. We're gonna go ahead and go back into our eyeballs. We're gonna smoke out that lower lash line. So I'm gonna use the very first shade we used from the Party Animal palette, which again was hung over the real deep purpley shade. And I'm just gonna grab a little tiny packing brush here, and I'm gonna dip into that shade and smoke out that bottom lash line. Now I'm gonna set that brush aside because I'm gonna need it here in a few minutes. I'm going to take a Tristique mini eye pencil. This is in the shade Santorini Black Sand. And I'm going to take, it's just a little wax crayon, and I'm going to tightline my upper lash line. And if you don't know what tightlining is, it's literally going and drawing on the inside of your lashes. This is gonna give our eyes a nice dark look. And then I'm gonna go and do the lower lash line. Lower lash line doesn't need to be perfect because, like I said, we're going to be taking that brush that we used just a few minutes ago. I'm not going to add any more product to it, but I am going to go and run that over the edge of that liner. This is going to do two things. It's going to blend out the edge of that liner, really smoke it out, really smoke out the edge of that shadow that we put under there. Okay, now you can put that brush away because we're going to be done with it. Now I want to line the top with a big nice wing, and I'm going to be using my NYX Epic Ink liner in the shade Black. Finish off the eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and use my mascara. This is the Superhero Mascara from It Cosmetics. If you use falsies, go ahead and throw your falsies on. To finish off the skin, I'm gonna set it with the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. I have never tried this one before. I've heard lots of good things about it. I'm gonna give a few pumps, there we go, to get her working. And spray her down. This mist feels really light, almost like it's not getting any on the skin, but I feel like it looks pretty good. I feel like I want to give it a few more pumps though. Probably way more than I need, but who cares? As long as I feel set, that's what matters. The last thing I'm going to do is the lips, and I'm wanting kind of a pinky nude, and so I have this Jeffree Star liquid lip, Velour liquid lip in the shade. Honestly, don't know. Got a question mark on the end if you can see that. One of my coworkers gave it to me. She got 2 of them out of a mixture box, I believe. She's like, I don't need 2, so she gave me 1. So we're gonna test this lip out. was a little more pink than I was anticipating. I was decided to be a little more nude, so let's go ahead and grab one of my favorite nudes is the NYX lingerie in the shade Baby Doll. It's a really soft pink that I like to use to ombre a lot of my lip looks, but I'm gonna put this over top. That did nude it out just a little bit. Not as much as I was hoping for, but you know, here we are. All right, I almost forgot. So before I forget, let's do the inner corner highlight. This is from the company Unique. This is their shadow shade called Gentle. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on the inner corner there. And then of course the brow bone. Alright, and once that's taken care of, I'm going to do what I always do. I like to take just a chunky, fluffy brush here, one that's really dense, and just buff out that line ever so slightly, just to give everything a nice blendy blend. I almost forgot to do this, and I was like, oh, no, this is one of the most important things ever. This is the look, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you liked this look, please leave a thumbs up. Sorry, it was a little bit of a chaotic disaster to get here, but we got here. I actually do really like the way everything turned out. I think it's really pretty, super fun fall kind of Halloween look. If you have any questions, comment down below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.